stories have rolled throughout the United States, and the impact on the mental health of brown and of black people from throughout the diaspora living in America, it's significant. It's significant. When I say from the diaspora, I'm talking about Africans who are living here, and I'm talking about Caribbean people who are living here. And reports of mass roundups, harassment, of hate directed towards our black and brown people, it's giving a lot of people concern, as is the fact that actual American citizens are being caught up in these roundups, and even among people who staunchly supported Donald Trump. Okay, ICE, along with their federal partners, the FBI, the ATF, the DEA, the CBP, the U.S. Marshal Services, all have come together and they've conducted enhanced raids that target now cities beyond the initial raids in Boston, Chicago, and New York. They've hit LA, I saw on the news, and I know it is now confirmed in my home state of Georgia and my home city of Atlanta. Now, I'm a native of DeKalb, Mississippi, but I live in Atlanta. It's where I call home. It's also started to ramp up. They've also have raids in Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth, the Rio Grande Valley in Texas. Specifically, we now know that 906 people have been arrested nationwide, and we have 540 who are currently being detained. The response to these raids on social media have broken my heart. And again, I live in Atlanta, and I've seen no signs of a formal organized resistance, and that's disappointing to me. But I am able to applaud the people of Chicago. They've emerged as a focal point of resistance against these raids, drawing, I think, historical parallels to Chicagoans of the 1850s who came together in opposition to the Fugitive Slave Act to protect these people who had escaped to the cities. They've organized together, and activists in the city are doing know your rights trainings to immigrant communities, and they've created a rapid response network to alert residents about ICE activity. And community organizations like Arise Chicago are helping workers prepare emergency plans. And I think that is the best we can do in this moment of uncertainty. It's the right thing. It's the right thing to do, and I'm glad the people of Chicago are doing it. I think that they lay out a game plan, a blueprint for more cities and for more people in this country who are well-meaning and who are decent human beings, who don't want to see families ripped apart, who don't want to see harm come to people, who don't want to see harm come to people. And I want to say that if people have broken laws, uh, they should face the consequence of those actions. There's no question about it. But like I know, that's not how the American justice system works. They look first at the outward appearance, and that's when the judgment is levied in far too many cases. In far too many cases, that is why I'm so concerned about American citizens anyone who isn't white getting caught up in these raids, because it has happened. It has happened this week. It happened, and I'm afraid it's going to happen at greater rates as this continues. I want to know also, have you thought about the economic impact that these raids are going to cause as we're dealing with the bird flu, as we're dealing with what is a looming economic crisis because of the bird flu? Have you thought about what these deportations actually do to our economy? Have you thought about that? Because I did a little bit of research in preparation for this video, and I don't know if many people can really comprehend how dire this could be in regards to these mass deportations. Uh, but this will deal possibly the American economy a devastating blow. Deporting all undocumented citizens or migrants could reduce our gross domestic product by up to 6.8%. And for every 1 million unauthorized migrant who is deported, approximately 88,000 US born workers could lose their job as a consequence. Key industries like agriculture, construction, and hospitality will face severe labor shortages, which could lead to reduced production, higher consumer prices, and inflation, not to mention the increase in food prices that will also come due to the agricultural labor shortage. Undocumented migrants contribute $46.8 billion in federal taxes and 29.3 billion in state and local taxes in 2022 alone. And deportation result in the loss of these tax contributions. And then then you have to also consider the impact on the American family. Mass deportations would separate 4 million mixed status families, affecting 8.5 million United States citizens, which could lead to higher default rates on mortgages, economic ruination for damage to families, and all of that needs to be considered as we look at what is happening in this country. This moment, to me, is not just about a crackdown, trying to clean up the streets. It's about an assault on the economic stability, emotional well being, and social fabric of our country. That's what it is. And I think that we must all come together to protect our neighbors and demand humane policies around immigration. Because this isn't an immigrant issue. This isn't a migrant issue. It is an American issue. The economic and societal impacts of these raids will cascade across our country, affecting those of us who are citizens and those of us who are non citizens alike. There was an entire, every time Vice President Harris or President Biden had something to say about creating a legal path to citizenship and moving forward with doing greater security at the border and removing migrants from this country, there were like constant people making the rounds on cable television. One of them being Julian Castro. I have not seen anything from these people. I haven't seen anything from them this past week. I haven't heard a word from them this whole past week as their communities are being decimated, as they were constant fixtures on MSNBC and CNN. I have not heard those voices at all. And it's really concerning to me because it makes me think that it was all performative and all aimed at ensuring that the Democratic Party would not be in power and would not be able to protect the most vulnerable people in this country. That is what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me. But again, maybe Julian Castro and others will pop out and, give us something to say, give us words of hope. But thus far, they haven't. This is a deep dive that I've done here on the Zactivist, and I'll be back soon with the People's Brief. But I just had to address this because I think it's too important not to. Okay, and with that being said, I hope that you will be well, be blessed, and whatever you do, keep pushing. I'll see you soon, real soon, real soon.